But I feel like that's the problem with Tom. Like, he's just so bendable. He's just there. Like, I don't know why all the girls are grafting over this guy. Just square head and height. Literally just that. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is doing okay and everyone is doing well. Another week of Love Island reviews, and no, that's right. And Friday's episode was a lot, but there's still a lot for us to discuss today. So as I usually and I always say, number one, if you haven't yet subscribed, what exactly are you waiting for? Of course, be sure to subscribe and definitely join the family. Number two, also be sure to follow me on my Instagram and also on my Twitter at SarahDestinyX. And number three, I don't know why I like doing all of my hands, but anyway, number three, please to get cozy and comfy with a hot Avena and some snacks. I really hope you enjoy the rest of this review. Before we get started, I just want to let you guys know, unfortunately, but I am traveling for work tomorrow and Tuesday, so I'm hoping I can connect to a VPN whilst I'm out there and still watch Love Island and do reviews. So God willing, I figure out how a VPN works and reviews will still be fine. I just wanted to let you guys know just for now, but fingers crossed there will be reviews for tomorrow and also Tuesday. So let us start off with the girls talking. Of course, you guys know that Ellie ended up picking Will for the pop the balloon game challenge that they had on Friday, in which you had to get a balloon, choose someone and basically pop it in a sexual or interesting position. Jessie was speaking of the fact that, you know, Ellie ended up picking Will, and Will, I think, stuck out his tongue or something after. I'll be honest with you, week opening, yeah, I think Jessie needs to know that, like, Will is so comfortable with you, and the fact that all of the girls have literally friend zoned him, I promise you there's nothing there that you need to worry about. But yeah, I think that was a bit of a stretch. Jessie just wanted the little 2 pence here, because I promise you the girls are not checking for Will like that. I promise you. Now let's move on. Let's move on, right? So let's move on to Zara, Tanya, Lana and Jessie speaking. Of course, Zara was just voicing, my English is through the roof today, I don't know why, but Zara was voicing her opinions and also her annoyance with the whole game with Tom. As you guys know, Tom was asked, you know, if he could build his perfect girl, who would he build? And he said he would take Olivia's face, Zara's body and Lana's personality. That is a red, I keep thinking I'm seeing a spider, I'm so sorry, but that is a red flag immediately. Like, you know how Olivia makes Zara feel. And this is the thing, that I even tweeted this as well. I don't like people that don't use sense, especially like guys that don't use sense, because you know how Zara and Olivia are. You know how Olivia makes Zara feel. If anything, because we're going to get into Tom later, because I'm going to tear his singlet too, but if anything, he could have just said Zara's face, Zara's body, Zara's personality. People could have called you boring, but that's fine. At least you know there would have been peace in your couple. Instead, you choose my enemy. Just say you want to kill me. In all honesty, you choose my enemy's face and you choose my body. And I already said this in Friday's review. There's a whole hoo-ha that we can have with the sexualization of certain demographics figures, but I'm not going to tear singlets like that today, okay? Because I don't know if you're ready for that conversation. But one thing that I would say was I wasn't really happy with Jessie's response at first. Jessie was like, oh, you know, he's been good to you. You're invalidating her feelings and her emotions there and then. You may feel like he's been good to me, but guess what? I didn't actually feel like that. So Jessie saying that from outside in, I didn't honestly feel like it was her place. I did write down here that I definitely think they were gaslighting her in that situation. Honestly, that was, if someone is voicing their opinions, please just let them voice it and let them feel and let them say what they want to say. Don't now start saying, but he's been good to you. Don't feel like that. She feels how she feels. Be good friends to her and actually just console her. And I did say this, sorry, in Friday's review, that I don't know if Zara actually has good friends in the villa. I don't really see her with close-knit girls, and I feel like the girls this season, it's almost like they're all enemies of one another, to be honest, because I don't feel like there are solid friendships between them anyway. And I know it's definitely still early days, but I don't actually feel like Zara has a close-knit one-to-one person that she can speak to on a regular basis, or even if she does, the producers are 100% not showing us those scenes. There was one thing that I also did note down as well, that Zara did also say to Lana, you know, like, even with you said that, you know, we're not compatible. And Lana was like, oh, you know why I said that? I don't. Please elaborate. And I think that also stems from the fact that Lana and Olivia and Ron seem to be doing this whole trio, besties, triplets, whatever situ. But Lana, to me, is a very sly, and we're also going to get into her next. Briefly before we drag, before we drag Lana's singlet, let's speak about Tom and Olivia. Like I said this last week, guys. If you remember, you remember. I said wrap this storyline up by Friday. And what did they do on Friday? They brought it back. How disrespectful. Now also on Sunday, they've also come to bring it back. Of course, Tom and Olivia were having a chat in the kitchen. And whilst they were having a chat, Lana now came to the kitchen and was like, oh, I think you should go and speak to Zara. Tom's like, oh, why? Like, what exactly is the problem? And then they started to put two and two together and realised it was because of the game. Olivia was like, oh, but it's just a game. Tom was like, oh, it's just a game. Like, oh, if this is because of that, then I don't have time for it. Now, let's rewind here, because I'll tear Olivia's singlet first. It's just a game, it's just a game. But when she called you two-faced, how many episodes ago was that situation when Zara called her two-faced? Did Olivia not drag that out for the life of everybody? So no, it's just not a game. And two, Tom, like I said, guys that don't think with sense, like, even if it was just a game, you're now hearing news that Zara is upset. Would your first priority, if you had common sense, not be to go and speak to her? And thirdly, because I'm also going to tear Lana's singlet, did anyone ask Lana to be a messenger? I don't know if I missed that scene. Maybe maybe my laptop stopped working. Maybe I didn't hear the audio for that. No one told Lana to go and be doing that messenger angel. So I'm a bit confused as to why Lana felt like it was in her right and her place to go and say, oh, it's because of the game. And on top of that, she didn't say it from a very genuine standpoint or from a friendship standpoint, like she was worried. She actually said it with quite a smug look on her face. So I think it's quite interesting how people have different ideas of how they think Lana, Olivia and Zara so, because people on Twitter are like, oh, Zara's doing the most. Olivia cried the other day, Lana cried the other day, people comforted her. If Zara wants to feel how she wants to feel, people need to let her feel it. Like, I don't know. I just feel like Lana and I just feel like they're all just sneaky. I'm so sorry. I couldn't be in this villa because I find this whole situation just sneaky. And Olivia as well, babe, relax, okay? Defo the auntie of this villa, but you're acting younger than Anime. Was Anime not 7 years your junior? Let's be serious here. What I did like in this whole situation as well, there was Will actually told him how it was when they were all in the kitchen. Will was like, oh, but bro, like, you kind of need to be understandable here. Like, you chose Olivia's face. So I do like the fact that I think, if anything, Will and Shaq seem to have the most common sense in this villa when it comes to correcting guys, but the rest of them just move like they're 18, 19 years old. I think it's a bit weird. Anyway, Tom was also speaking to the confessionals, and he was saying, oh, you know, like, the initial attraction was there, but I'm just wondering now if on the outside it's going to work out. I just don't want the drama. You don't want the drama, but like I said, you chose my enemy's face before mine. Yeah, I'm the one that's in a couple with you. It's not making any sense. And did I write anything else regarding that situ? Oh, to be honest, I just wrote what I said in my last review, is that Tom needs to read the room. I mean, this honestly isn't, no one needs to ring bells in your ears to let you know that you need to go check up on Zara. At the end of the day, everyone was acting like, oh, Zara's being irrational. Why is she being annoyed? Why is she being pissed off? I'm pretty sure if any of those other girls were also in that situation, they would feel annoyed as well. So it's just very interesting to see how everyone is reacting to Zara's annoyance in this situ. And on top of that, I just think Tom, I already said this in my last reviews and I have been saying this, Tom doesn't give me much, okay? Literally just height and a square head. I see nothing else there. So I'm glad that towards the end of the episode, Zara frees herself from the shackles of this guy. Let's briefly move on to Spencer talking to Ellie and also Tanya. He was saying that he does feel like Olivia is still 100% attracted to Tom, and that's why he feels like he's not really going to pursue it with her any further. Lana and Tanyelle, he was also saying that, you know, he doesn't feel like they're open to getting to know new people because Lana is very much smitten over Ron, and Tanyelle is also very much smitten over Kai. But he was saying that Lana would 100% be his type. So with that conversation that he was having, I do definitely think that Spencer is still going to try his best to try and graft for Lana. And we know towards the end of the episode as well, with a new girl coming in, it's very likely that Ron will also be doing the same, grafting to somebody else. But we're going to get into that very soon as well. We can briefly speak about Tom speaking with Ellie. Red flag, once again, a walking red flag, the brightest red flag. Tom needs to, as Nicole says, in the bin ASAP. So all of this has happened. Not only did you pick my enemy's face, okay, you picked my enemy's face. On top of that, our guy Lana with her big mouth decided to come and tell you that Zara was upset. All this time, have you gone to speak to Zara? Oh no, but it's Ellie that you want to be flirting with. Okay, let's make that make sense. Tom, walking red flag. I'm very much over him. He does not give us much for this season anyway. My leg is going numb again. Guys, by the way, someone commented in my last video saying, why is your leg always going numb? That's a very good question. I wish I had an answer. But yeah, Tom honestly doesn't give me much, so I need everyone to free their shackles from this guy because he's not delivering. Let's move over to Zara. So Zara, I love girls so much, right? But Zara ended up going to boil water, which was right next to Tom. Absolutely love it. And he was just like, oh yeah, you're right. And she was like, yeah, I'm good. He was just like, yeah. And I think she just said, yeah, like, you know, it's been a long day. And he was just like, yeah, I think everyone just needs to like sleep or whatever. I do understand maybe one, emotions are very high and there is a lot of tension, so that's why you feel like you should sleep on it and definitely speak about it in the morning. But at the same time, I feel like the problem with Tom is Tom doesn't give Zara the reassurance that she needs. And that's why I really want someone to come in for Zara that will give her the reassurance that she needs. Like people on Twitter, which is Fiat 500 to be honest, but they were like, oh, Zara's needy, she's irritating, she's this or she's that. Read people's love languages. I think is really common sense. I don't know if I'm just doing the most here, but I feel like it's common sense. She clearly is someone who really needs reassurance, or someone who maybe likes words of affirmations or this or that or that, but you don't give her any of that. So you moving mad like, oh, I don't know why she's acting like that after picking her enemy's face over her makes absolutely no sense to me. And yeah, once again, I'm just going back to that situation that Lana with her wide mouth, okay, she had no right to speak about wanting for Tom to go and speak to Zara about the whole situation. And Jessie as well, I'm gonna need both of them to stay mute. Don't come and tell me a guy's been good to me if I don't feel like he's been good to me. If I want to feel what I want to feel, I'm going to feel it. And if I want to speak about my emotions, I'm going to speak about my emotions, okay? Period. Thank you very much. Let's move on to bedtime. Kai was telling Olivia that I feel like it's best that you go back to Ron because you guys have unfinished business. Like I said, the storyline needed to have been wrapped up last week. I'm tired of this. I'm so tired of this unfinished. And on top of that, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but were Tom and Olivia like this? Because I don't think I ever saw that. Did they maybe just share one kiss? Was there a wedding that we were unaware of? Does she have children for him? Do they have a mortgage together? What is this unfinished business? And even if it's unfinished, please finish it quickly because we're tired of this storyline. We don't want to hear it anymore. And I know I'm speaking on behalf of the people, okay? I'm speaking on behalf of the general UK public. Anything else to speak about? Tanya and Shaq kissing as usual. When are Tanya and Shaq not kissing when everyone else is sleeping? I don't know if they actually sleep at this point. But yeah, let's move on to the morning time. As always, you guys know the girls were having their conversation. And Zara was saying that she feels like it's a new day. So because it's a new day, you know, their minds have been cleared. They slept on it, that she feels like it would be the right time for them to have a conversation. And Ellie was also making it very clear to Lana that, you know, I did speak to Ron and he has made it very clear that you are his priority. I did see kind of like the smug look on Lana's face, but I really don't care for the whole Lana and Ron situation anymore. I don't think they're good people. I'm sorry, I don't think they're good people. We can quickly move on to the boys having a conversation. Tom was talking about how his sexual attraction was there at the start, but now he feels like he's questioning if they are compatible on the outside. I think he's definitely right in terms of the sexual attraction. You know, Zara is a beautiful girl. She's got a beautiful and a great body as well. But I feel like it's kind of a cop-out, in all honesty. I don't feel like Tom... Not even Tom. No, yes, Tom. Tom isn't the type of person that Zara needs to be with, if I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like Zara definitely deserves more. And Tom's just, even though people are like, oh, opposites attract and so, like I said, read the room, okay? Even if you're in a couple with someone and you see that maybe their love languages or their personality clashes with yours, try and find a good balance. But I don't feel like Tom even cares enough to even graft to make sure balance is there. And that's why I feel like it literally was a cop-out. Ron was saying that, oh, he feels like he definitely has to graft for Lana. You know, my eyes are on her, my eyes are on her. Ron and his wandering eyes, okay? That is all we can say from that. We can move on. Oh, so many chats in this episode, guys. My gosh. But let's move on to Ellie pulling Will for a chat. Initially, I thought she wanted to pull Will for a chat because, like, she was flirting with him or anything like that. But no, it actually wasn't. Which is why I always tell Jessie to relax, okay? No one wants Farmer Will, babe. You good, okay? Y'all can look after your sheep. You're going to be good. But she was saying that she was speaking to Tom. She was speaking to Will about Tom, sorry. I was essentially saying, you know, I feel like I want to get to know him a bit more. I feel like I can break him. I feel like, you know, I can easily get into those cracks. And all I could think of was, shame. Okay, how shameful that someone can open up their mouth to say, oh, I can get into them. Like, that means that you as a person, you're not really sturdy, okay? Because no one can come and tell me, oh yeah, I feel like I can get into Sarah's head. You can't get into this head. This head is screwed on and is very much filled with sense. But I feel like that's the problem with Tom. Like, he's just so bendable. He's just there. Like, I don't know what all the girls are grafting over this guy. Just square head and height. Literally just that. Let's move on to Tom and Ellie. Okay, they were lifting weights together. Do I have much to say about this? Not really. I feel like the flirting was a bit annoying as well. Like, she was just like, you have beautiful eyes. She was just like, yeah, you have beautiful eyes. Like, wow, you're just looking at me. Yeah, you're just looking at me. Wow, you're so good looking. Yeah, I can. Just back and forth. Which also lets you know once again that Tom is very unserious because all now he still hasn't spoken to Zara. Yet you're flirting with other girls. Make it make sense. Like I said, he's scary, okay? Very scary. Now we can move on to Tom and Zara having a conversation. And Zara was very blunt and honest. And you know what? This is why this is a Team Zara account, okay? Someone was saying, oh, how can you be Team Zara when she... I said what I said, okay? This is a Team Zara stan account, and we're going to stan her. And I am also going to vote to keep her in the villa because she does deserve to find love. And she has been treated very unfairly, if I must say so myself. So Zara essentially just let him know there's no coming back from what happened. Okay, there's no coming back whatsoever. I feel like you are incredibly disrespectful. And Tom literally said that, you know, either way he feels like even if he picked anyone else, it could have turned out wrong. And like I said in the beginning of this review, I don't agree with that whatsoever. He could have just said Zara's face, Zara's body, Zara's personality, or he could have just decided not to answer the question. People could have called him boring, but guess what? Life goes on and another episode would have still rolled on anyway. And it's not like Love Island would have fined him £1,000 for not answering the question. So he essentially was just saying, you know, like he does feel that way as well. So and so. He did mention, I'll always be here for you. What does that mean? I hate when people say stuff like that sometimes, like, oh, you know, like, if you need me, I'm always going to be here. Were you there for me when I needed you? So why on earth do you think I'll call you when you know, just make it make sense. Like, you know, when people just say empty words just to try and make situations sound better, I do feel like that is exactly what Tom decided to do. But yeah, they mutually agreed that it wasn't working. But I do feel like Zara kind of led that conversation, if I'll be honest with you, and I'm glad that she did. I did think she had a very calm approach to the whole situation. You know, she could have lashed out and been angry and been this, but I think common sense just hit her like, you know what? You don't even offer much, okay? You don't offer much, so I'm not going to allow myself to get riled up over your decisions and your actions. So just so that things can end peacefully between both of us, you do what you want to do, I do what I want to do. It was great getting to know you, and I hope you find love in this villa. So I'm very glad that she has been freed from the shackles of Tom, and I really, really, really hope that her dream guy does come into the villa. And I have a feeling that her dream guy will. Even if he doesn't come in, he will definitely be there for Casa Amor. Now let's move on to the night time. Tom said that he was going to talk to Olivia because of unfinished business. Like I said, now that Zara has taken herself out of this equation, I don't want to hear unfinished business again. As in, you guys finish that business and figure out if it works or if it doesn't work. And once it doesn't work, dead it, bury it, leave it. Let's do a ceremony and keep it there. Because I'm tired of hearing about unfinished business for people who barely even knew each other for a day or two before something happened. Let's be serious here. Olivia also said that she's going to speak to Tom in the presence of Ellie, which was quite interesting because, of course, Ellie hasn't... Ellie's a snake. Oh my gosh. But Ellie hasn't told any of the girls whatsoever that, oh yeah, like me and Tom, we're talking a bit. Do you know what I mean? So... very interesting. Okay, once again, speaking to your enemies. They seem to be doing that a lot a lot in this villa. Of course, the guys ended up getting a text that Sammie is here to meet them. Pretty girl. Okay, we'll get into Sammie briefly, but I think the first question I have in my head is like, do Black or Asian people don't apply, like, do they not apply to be on Love Island? Because but it's fine, depending on who decides to apply for the show. Just a key question that came into my head, that's all. But let's introduce Sammie. So Sammie is 22, she's from London and she's also from Camden. Brunette, petite, really pretty, very confident. I really like her vibe. I think she's a gorgeous girl and a great addition to the villa. Of course, because we know some guys' heads are going to turn. Without stating the obvious, who's the number one guy whose head turns and whose eyes wander physically and literally? Ron. So let us start off with the girls. The girls were very, it was given insecure, okay? They were very worried. They had their phones out. They literally were zooming in, which is a great, that's actually like, yeah, a great method. Why have I never thought of that? I've never had to do that, but still. They literally got their phones and they were zooming into the camera to just try and see what the girls looked like from where they were. Tanielle shut them down immediately, which I absolutely loved. So Tanielle was just like, remember yourselves, guys. Like, at the end of the day, if new guys come into this villa, we're going to jump on them and we're going to be all over them and it's going to be fine, because the girls are like, oh, she's so pretty, oh, she looks confident, oh my gosh, she's perfect, she's this and she's that, which she is, but like, come on babes, guys, even though some of you are very annoying, believe in your source. Okay, it's not a crime to believe in your source. Of course, she was speaking to the guys, and also interesting because Shaq was actually one of the first guys to jump out to speak to her, like almost like so asking her questions, where are you from, what do you do, so and so. I think because she said she's from Camden, he was like, oh yeah, I'm from West London. So I was thinking in the back of my mind, is Shaq gonna go for this girl? Is he actually gonna go for her? But then towards the end of the episode, he let us know that now Tanya is still definitely on his books. All of the guys were of course speaking about their situation, about who they're in a couple with and things like that. One was like, oh, you know, like, I'm with Lana, I've got a really good thing going, so and so. But when he said but, I just said, Ron can never change. I'm sorry. Ron can never change. The guy can never change. Like, after all that, you already dragged Lana's singlet like this. You've exposed her. Bam, everyone can see her. you've now come to say, but if you don't close up that mouth quickly, okay, if you don't actually stop talking. And when he was speaking in his confessionals, he did say like, wow, like, if I was to go for looks, if I was to do this or that, like, she's 100%, she's brunette, she's petite, she's this, she's that. I'm just thinking, Ron, you're actually still speaking there. Scary, okay? The guy is scary. They were, of course, speaking about her last type and also her last guy. And she was like, yeah, you know, he was tall, he's got really nice eyes. And all of them were just like, oh, Tom, like, this is for you, whatever. So Tom was kind of smirking a bit. I guess he's now an open playing field because the whole Zara situation has been ended. But we're going to get into Tom later on because he defo ended the episode with a bang, okay? With a bang. Of course, the girls ended up coming to meet Sammie and they wanted to ask about, you know, what does she do? What type of stuff? Who's the guy that makes her laugh? Who she's got her eyes on? I think she did say she works in real estate, but she does like the boring office work. And I love the fact that she didn't actually give them an answer into the guys that she's interested in. So pretty much keeping every single one of them on their toes. But she just said, a guy who can make me laugh. She's going to suss out who can make her laugh and who can't make her laugh as well. So I think it'll be very interesting to see who she does actually end up going for in these next couple of episodes. We can move on to the boys talking. They were saying that they think that Ron is in trouble. Ron was even just like, yeah, you know, I'm fighting temptations. And it made me think of that film with, you know, Beyonce and everyone. And yeah, fine, because that's one of my favorite films anyway. I definitely digress. Shaq was literally letting him know. This is one thing that I already said before. I think Shaq is a great friend. Okay, Shaq is the type of friend that you want your man to have because he's someone that speaks sense. So Shaq was just letting him know, listen, if you go for Lana 110%, you know there's no coming back from it because you've already taken her through everything. You guys already had a conversation that you're going to try and graft for her. What on earth makes you think that you can go for Sammie and you still think Lana is still going to be there waiting for you? So yeah, I did really like the fact that Shaq was very open and honest with him about that because I just feel like Ron is not serious. Like, yeah, it's a game and stuff, but even if you're going to do this, can you not do it slyly? Every girl, wham, you're just talking, oh, she's my type, she's my type, she's my this. Like, it's just a bit too much for me. Aaron, let me tell you why Aaron already gets a side eye from me, right? When Aaron went to go and say in the game, I know it was just the game, but when you went to go say in the game, oh, to Zara, like, yeah, I feel like Zara's the one that will talk most behind her back. The guy is furniture. Someone even commented on my tweet saying, furniture you can even see. The guy's a spirit because you can't see him and then all of a sudden he talks in his mic and you're like, oh, Aaron is there. But Aaron was just like, yeah, I think that too. He gets a side eye. Next back to Australia, please. Thank you very much. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't mean to sound rude, but oh, the guy is just furniture and spirits. And Shaq also made it very clear that, you know what, I'm not going for Sammie. It's going to take a miracle for my eyes to turn from Tanya. So I guess that was nice because I think people were assuming that he was essentially going to go for Sammie, especially because West London, Camden, North, so and so. But yeah, he made it very clear that nope, it's not happening. We can move on to Kai and Sammie having a conversation. Not really much there. I think Kai was also just, you know what's so funny about guys, like they'll be talking about how much they're so happy in their couple and this and that. The second a girl comes, oh yeah, like it's early days, like yeah, like not closing things off, all that type of situation. But that's essentially what Kai was saying. And of course Tanya was looking at them talking and also just speaking to the girls like, oh damn, looks like someone may take my man. Okay, somebody might take my man. Let's move on to Tom and Olivia speaking. They were saying that they still feel that there is some attraction there. And she was like, I just really want you to graft. You guys know Olivia did mention it, I think a couple episodes ago, that how she feels like she couldn't really give her full self to Tom just because she feels like, oh, he wasn't really too affectionate with her and she didn't want to give something, cannot receive it back, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, this unfinished business storyline, wrap it up, okay? Wrap it up. She did say as well that she isn't a second option. Well, you kind of are, babe. You kind of are a second option in this situation because he has already ended it with the first option. But whatever makes your boat float, all right? Let me not knock that joy from you. We can move on quickly to the last bit, actually. Yeah. So Olivia, of course, goes to just the girls like, yeah, you know, I spoke to Tom. I feel like Olivia must feel like she's got the prize, but Tom really doesn't give anything. Oh my gosh, he actually doesn't give. Which was like, yeah, like, you know, I spoke to Tom and like, he's definitely going to try again with me. And I definitely feel like there's like, this is the opportunity for us to start again. So. Meanwhile, okay, whilst Olivia is basically giving Tom his praises to the girls like, oh yeah, like the things are definitely going to spice up and so. Tom is on the terrace with who? With Ellie. And what are him and Ellie doing? Giving eye contact, flirting, talking about tomorrow, her wearing her sexy gym clothes to the gym. And what do they end up doing? They end up kissing. Olivia is going to cry blood. Ah, oh, you see how God works, eh? It's not good to be a bad person. I said this in my last review and the review for that. It's not good to be a bad person, okay? Because what goes around, it comes around. So I think that'd be very interesting to see how that's going to spice up probably like tomorrow. Like I said, that is just annoying because it brings back a new triangle with Tom, Olivia and Ellie, and I want unfinished business to be finished ASAP. No Rocky. I don't know why I say that, guys, I'm so sorry. But yeah, guys, those are, let me put this on here. Those are my thoughts on today's episode. I do think it was a strong start into the new week. I'm very happy that Zara has decided to free herself from the shackles of Tom and that she has decided to keep her head up, and I really hope that someone does come in the villa for her. Like I said, a Team Zara stan account. Yes, we are. Anything else? I think Ron is definitely going to turn his head for Sammie. I mean, she's 100% his type. Very interesting. So be interesting to see how Lana responds to that and if she's definitely still going to continue grafting for Spencer. Aaron, Furniture Spirit, don't really care too tough about him. And is there anything else? No, nothing else. So I'd love to know what you guys did actually think of that episode in the comment section below. As always, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe, and I shall see you in my next video, which will hopefully be tomorrow, guys. If I can get this VPN to work, it'll be perfect, but if I can't, I'll try something, okay? I'm not trying to miss 2 days of reviews, to be honest with you, because I like talking to you guys every single day. So yeah, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please do take care, stay blessed, and I shall see you tomorrow and in the rest of this week's reviews. Bye.